If you go through things like SDN or the Reddit medical school page, it can paint a pretty dark picture of what medical school is like. You'll see that pretty much every post on these platforms is about students being depressed, burnt out, and socially isolated. Now, every medical student does go through these feelings at one point or another. It is important to control what we can. When I read this stuff, I was scared about going to medical school because I felt like I was signing away my youth to studying and working, and I'd miss out on the fun that you're supposed to have in your 20s. Now, you may not be able to drop everything and just go traveling whenever you feel like it, like your favorite Instagram influencers, but you can definitely have a good time in medical school and make the most of it. If you take initiative on your part, even though it's challenging, you can definitely have a good time in medical school. As far as how to do that, the first and most important thing, as you can imagine, is managing your time. Whether it means waking up earlier or not going to class, managing your time is very important. We've gone over in another podcast why we don't go to class and why we recommend that you don't. So if you think that's something for you, you can definitely check it out. But the fact is that in the first 2 years, other than a few mandatory sessions, you have a lot of control over your time, more than you'll ever have probably for the rest of your life. So what you want to do is get the work done that you need to get done in a very efficient manner. So, like we said in another podcast, you make a schedule for the week every Sunday, and you review it daily and just check off your boxes. Obviously, during exam weeks, you're going to have a little less time, but that's just part of the deal. No one likes to wake up early, but this is also something you can do to help maximize your efficiency and also prepare you for residency hours down the road. So time management is key. Make sure you focus on that. Now the next thing is to never mix work and play. When it's time to work, do your work, and when it's time to play, just play. Don't be doing flashcards while you're listening to music or trying to have coffee with a friend. If you try to mix the two, you're going to do neither one effectively. You'll end up studying inefficiently and be not completely relaxed or having fun when you're socializing. Have time set aside for your work time, and then have a hard stop for your playtime where you can fully relax and enjoy yourself. The next thing is to enjoy the post-exam shenanigans. Our school almost always has student-organized exam parties, and if that's not so much your thing, there's still things like Halloween parties, Christmas parties for specific festive events. And for those that aren't into partying, there's also things like paint night and board games and intramurals or band performances. Sometimes it can be appealing to just relax and call it in after an exam, and that's perfectly okay. But just try your best to take the leap and go out and have fun. These are the memories that you're going to look back at someday and realize that med school was actually a pretty good time. So try and get out there with the classmates that you like and have fun. And if there's nothing going on that you particularly enjoy, try and take the initiative and just find things to do in the city you're in, or just invite people over and have fun in whatever way you want to have fun. And that leads us to the next option you have, which is hobbies. If you're not so much into what your classmates are doing, or if you haven't made that many close friends, you can always go outside of the school. Try and find events and social groups that are related to the hobbies you already like, or if you want to, try something new. Depending on your city, there can be yoga studios, dance classes, music, hiking clubs, you name it. It's easy to feel like you don't have time for this stuff, but unless you make time for it now, you're never going to have time for it again. Again, you have to keep in mind that studying efficiently and managing your time wisely is going to be very important so you can enjoy the free time doing what you love. This is the most time you're going to have for the rest of your life, most likely. Pursuing hobbies outside of school not only gives you a relaxing and fun time, but it's also something you can share on your residency application down the road. It shows that you're a fun, balanced person. It shows that you're a fun, balanced person. It shows that you're a fun, balanced person that people would enjoy interacting with and working with. For example, I love cycling, so I got a few of my buddies from class and we joined a cycling club in the city. We go for rides at least twice a month, and it's a great break from everything. It's also nice to socialize with people who aren't in medicine, because then you can talk about things other than exams and matching to residency, which is really nice. And last but not least, you want to make sure that you don't forget your old friends and family from undergrad or your childhood, just because you're in medical school now. They're the ones that help to get you here and shape who you are. So make sure to call them often and laugh and reminisce about old memories. It can take your mind off school and the stresses of the future and take you back to normal life for a little bit. Don't use this as complaining time about your med school stresses, because everyone has their own issues to deal with. If you can go back home often, then try and do so. I'm lucky because my home is only about a 4-hour drive or train ride away from where I'm going to school, so I try to go back at least once a month. If you try and implement all the things we talked about today, you should be able to have a great time in medical school and not really miss out on any of the youth fun that you're supposed to have. So give these a shot and make sure if there's anything you want to hear about, you can just reach out to us and we'll try and get back to you as soon as we can.